Good afternoon, students. Welcome to day 6 of induction program. Today we have amongst us Mr. Puneet Arora, CEO of Ecology Corporation, and Dr. Amrik Singh, the Vice Principal, sir. On the 6th day of induction program, Mr. Puneet Arora will be presenting a talk on career orientation path for the budding engineers who have chosen various engineering discipline either by child choice or by chance and have questions in their mind that what is the career opportunity of an individual in the chosen field of engineering. He is working in the field of information technology from the last 20 years. He is a programmer and a technocrat who guide people about the adoption of new technologies. Now I request Mr. Puneet Arora to start with the virtual presentation.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. I would request all students to, if possible, if they can switch on their videos, and I would suggest that they should have interactive session with me. They can speak in between whenever they feel like. Uh, I will be asking questions so that I know how many people are attentive and so on and so forth. I hope students are getting this. My voice is clear now to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, my voice is clear to everyone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
very much clear.
Okay. So may I start with my presentation? I request students if they can open their videos also.
Yes, everyone, please open your videos.
Okay. So students, are you able to see my presentation clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, all these are new admissions, isn't it? It's a new session for everyone.
Yes, sir.
Is it so? I would request everyone should interact with me. It should not be a one-way communication, please. It is my request that you should say, respond to me or send
Yes,
me a
sir.
hello in the chat
Yes, sir.
box. Okay. Now, the topic which we are going to cover are following. We will have basically three parts of this presentation. First is we will try to understand why this kind of orientation we are going to do. And secondly, what is the exact evolution of jobs? Because I believe that most of you have joined this course, this professional course to get a job, to build a career. And it is not for the sake of just a hobby or just for the time pass, isn't it? Are
Yes,
you
sir.
all serious for your
Yes,
career?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so if you're very serious about your career, I suggest you that please, whenever you feel like, please switch on your audio and ask questions in between. It should be an interactive session. So the second part of our presentation will consist of what is the evolution of jobs, how job losses have been occurring throughout the history, what is the evolution of it, how people are switching jobs, and what are the upcoming career trends which are there in coming years and months by the time you are going to be graduate. So it is from 4 years from now you are going to be graduate. So probably there is two ways to understand this career orientation. The first is that I give you a clear cut path, that I tell you that you can become an engineer, junior engineer, or you can become a senior engineer, a manager, a supervisor, or then a president of a company, and so on and so forth. One way at looking at the thing is like this, that there are certain designated paths which you can follow, and somehow you can make a career out of it. But I don't want to focus on such kind of things. I want to discuss basically about things which are happening right now. you know that most of your admission, the process, the world running around got slowed. It got, in fact, paused somehow because of the COVID crisis, isn't it? कोविड क्राइसिस के कारण हमारा
Yes,
सबका
sir.
करियर थोड़ा स्लो हो गया कि नहीं हो गया?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
आपकी एडमिशन्स भी थोड़ी लेट हुई, सारे स्कूल कॉलेजेस भी लेट हुए, कुछ फैक्ट्रीज में भी काम बंद हो गया. ओवरऑल पूरी कंट्री में, ओवरऑल पूरे वर्ल्ड में थिंग्स गॉट स्लो डाउन एंड स्लोली एंड ग्रेजुअली नाउ थिंग्स आर गेटिंग आउट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम, इजंट इट? ऐसा ही हो रहा है ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
ओके, बट डू यू थिंक द थिंग्स आर वेरी क्लियर राइट नाउ? कि आपको बड़ी क्लैरिटी है कि आगे दुनिया में, हमारे इंडिया में, हमारी स्टेट में, हमारे हर जगह पे एवरीथिंग इज वेरी क्लियर?
Not really.
No, sir.
थोड़ा सा ऑकवर्ड है ना, थोड़ा सा क्लैरिटी नहीं है हमें आगे दुनिया में क्या होने वाला है.
Yes, sir.
कुछ ऐसा ही है ना सबके साथ, कि सबको बड़ा क्लियर है कि बड़े अच्छे से अभी पता है कि हमें क्या करना है आगे. हाउ आर वी गोइंग टू गेट आउट जॉब्स, हाउ आर वी गोइंग टू सर्वाइव, हाउ आर वी गोइंग
sir.
टू, एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर?
अभी कुछ पता नहीं है.
No, sir.
No, sir.
तो थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट है ना थोड़ा समझना कि अभी हम एज अ इंडिया, एज अ नेशन हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो आपको व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि कहाँ जा रहे हैं हम, किस जगह जा रहे हैं, क्या हो रहा है हमारे साथ? हमारी जॉब्स रह रही हैं, हमारी फैक्ट्रीज चल रही हैं कि नहीं चल रही? क्या दिक्कत आ रही है आपको, क्या लगता है?
इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस हो रहा है सर.
अभी भी क्राइसिस चल रहा है मनप्रीत?
यस सर.
और क्या हो रहा है? क्राइसिस चल
Economy
रहा है
sir.
और क्या हो रहा है?
सर इकोनॉमी स्टीप डाउन हो रही है लगातार.
और कोई और जब बताएगा और क्या हो रहा है, हमारे के साथ दिक्कत क्या हो रही है? एंड डू यू थिंक इन कमिंग 4 years बाय द टाइम आप ग्रेजुएट हो गए, तब तक ये क्राइसिस या ये जो क्योस जो हो रहा है ये ओवर हो चुका होगा?
नहीं
यस
सर,
सर.
ये बड़ा
ये
होगा
हो
सर.
चुका होगा सर.
ये
तो बड़े-
क्राइसिस से ओवरकम हो चुके होंगे हम लोग?
नो सर.
यस सर.
कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं यस, कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं नो. सो लेट अस,
मुझे लग रहा है सर हो जाएगा.
हाँ,
तब तक सर वैक्सीन आ जाएगी एंड सर हम तब तक हमारा जो रहने का तरीका होगा, हमारा लाइफस्टाइल सर उसके अकॉर्डिंग हम डल चुके होंगे.
राइट. सो हमारा रहने का तरीका, काम करने का तरीका, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल क्लासेस कंडक्ट करने का तरीका, हर चीज का तरीका हमारा चेंज हो चुका है. और बहुत सारे जो प्रोसेसेस हैं, मेनी ऑफ दीज प्रोसेसेस आर इरिवर्सिबल. ये वापस उसी तरह नहीं होंगे जैसे पहले थे. तो उसके कारण नए तरह की जो टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं, नए तरह का जो बिजनेस मॉडल है, न्यू टाइप्स ऑफ रेवेन्यू मॉडल जो आ गए हैं, हमें उनको देखना पड़ेगा और इस केओस में से बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा. एंड आई टेल यू सम रिसेशंस आने वाले, आपने सुना होगा लाइक के पहले 1930 में, 1930s में एक ग्रेट डिप्रेशन आया था, बहुत सारे क्राइसिस आए हैं, इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस आए हैं, 2008 में भी आए हैं. लेकिन ये जो क्राइसिस था या है जो अभी अभी चल रहा है, इसका जो इम्पैक्ट है वो बहुत सबसे ज्यादा पावरफुल है. और इसका सबसे ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा हमारे करियर्स और जॉब्स पे, हमारी लाइफ पे. हमें जिस तरह जीना है, जिस तरह काम करना है, उसके ऊपर एक्चुअल वर्किंग हमारी कैसी होगी वो हमारे को अभी भी क्लैरिटी नहीं है. लेकिन अभी किसी तरह वी आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आउट सॉल्यूशंस एंड समहाउ वी आर ट्राइंग टू कोप अप विद द प्रॉब्लम, इजंट इट? कुछ ऐसा ही कर रहे हैं हम लोग.
यस सर.
Yes, sir.
यस सर.
Yes, sir.
यस सर.
अभी मेरे को कुछ ही बच्चों की आवाज आती है, लेकिन 40 बच्चे हैं क्लास में, बहुत कम बच्चे हैं जो वीडियो भी ऑन कर रहे हैं और ऑडियो से बात कर रहे हैं. आई रिक्वेस्ट इट शुड बी एन इंटरैक्टिव. नाउ it is very clear that we need to basically strategize our paths and understand right from the beginning, from the start, that we need to come out of this problem and so forth. तो उसके लिए थोड़ा सा हमारे को बैकग्राउंड में जाना पड़ेगा और ये समझना पड़ेगा that we need to understand that there are only 30% jobs which are in formal sector. What do you mean by formal sector? Can anybody explain me what is formal and informal sector? Can anybody tell me what is the difference between formal sector and informal sector? Formal sector is that sector which is accounted, जिसके लोग ज्यादातर अपनी इनकम टैक्स की रिटर्न भरते हैं, जो अकाउंट हो जाता है, जो हमारी जीडीपी में पता चल जाता है कि कितने लोग उन्होंने हायर किए, कितना रेवेन्यू जनरेट किया, कितनी प्रोडक्शन करी और कौन क्या कर रहा है. सो दिस सेक्टर इज कॉल्ड फॉर्मल सेक्टर.
फॉर्मल सेक्टर.
लेकिन इंडिया इज मेड अप ऑफ 70% इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर. मतलब क्या हुआ?
जो टैक्स आईटीआर नहीं भरते हैं,
जैसे स्ट्रीट वेंडर है, हॉकर है, हमारे जो ऐसे लोग जिनको हम गिनते ही नहीं है, जिनके बारे हमारे को वी डोंट इवन लुक एट देम फॉर सीकिंग आवर जॉब्स बिकॉज वी आर नाउ क्वालिफाइड इंजीनियर्स एंड डॉक्टर्स. सो अगर इफ यू देर आर 100 जॉब्स इन इंडिया, आउट ऑफ दैट 70% ऑफ जॉब्स आर इन इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? वो वाला सेक्टर जिसके अंदर जो इंडस्ट्री है वो डिसऑर्गेनाइज्ड है, अभी उनको प्रॉपर तरीका नहीं आता है, सही मायने में उनको नहीं पता है कि मेन स्ट्रीम इकोनॉमी में कैसे काम करना है, लेकिन वो उसी इकोनॉमी में, इनफॉर्मल इकोनॉमी में करके ही बहुत अच्छे से सर्वाइव और थ्राइव कर रहे हैं. इसी तरह फॉर्मल सेक्टर्स वो हैं जिनको हम अपनी नजरिया में ये समझते हैं, या वी अंडरस्टैंड देम एज लाइक कंपनीज, कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेस, जैसे बिग कंपनीज लाइक गूगल, बिग कंपनीज लाइक माइक्रोसॉफ्ट. इन कंपनीज को के बारे जब हम बात करते हैं, इन कंपनीज को हम फॉर्मल सेक्टर कंपनीज कहते हैं या फॉर्मल सेक्टर को डिफाइन करते हैं. आर यू गेटिंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से?
यस सर.
तो गवर्नमेंट की जॉब्स हैं, government ki jobs and that is also part of the formal sector. So including government jobs, including company jobs, they are the formal sectors. But overall India ki jo growth hai, it is driven by the informal sector, and 30% of the growth is driven by, progress is driven by the informal sector. So then this clearly means दैट हमारे को जब फाइट करनी है वो 30% वाले सेक्टर में करनी है फॉर बिल्डिंग आवर करियर, इजंट इट?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
ओके, नाउ लेट अस लुक एट द हिस्ट्री. हिस्ट्री में क्या हुआ कि स्लोली शुरू में राजे महाराजे होते थे, किंग्स एंड क्वींस होते थे, इजंट इट?
Yes, sir.
So slow, and then military was there. Whosoever had the powerful military, he was a king or a queen, and that is how people used to make money, wealth, and that is how they used, that was the main occupation. The most of the people were farmers, and the elite people, the gentry people were the people who were basically the royal people from the royal family or from the military people, and some of them were technology people, like who were making weapons or who were making some kind of bullock carts and so on and so forth, isn't it? So the section of technical people was very small, the military was quite large, and kings and queens were there, and majorly 99% of the people were farmers, and these were the traditional jobs, isn't it? But slowly and gradually, as capitalism spread, as industrialization happened, the queens, the kings and queens lost their jobs, and primarily the military, the people who had power, people who had weapons, people who had military power became the dominant class, and slowly and gradually the industrialization started in 1900s, and by 1950 most of the farmers were in doldrums, they were in problems. What do you mean by doldrums? सब जाने एक क्योस में थे, क्राइसिस में थे कि उनको जो है, उनका जो रोजगार है, उनको जो रहना सहना है, उनका वो जो है वो दैट बिकम रियली डिफिकल्ट, और डिफिकल्ट फार्मर्स का आज भी हुआ है. So slowly and gradually the farmers have been losing their jobs, and they have been either migrating to cities, urban areas, or switching their careers with new types of skills. And out of these 30-40 people who are attending my session, some of you might be kids of the children of farmers, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes,
Uh,
sir.
So slowly and gradually by 1950s to 2000, the blue collar jobs started booming. What are blue collar jobs? जैसे हमारे electricians, plumbers, those people who are basically doing hard labor, laborers, masons. These are the people who are working with the very hard jobs. People who are running machines, power loom run कर रहे हैं, खुद हाथ से चीजें बना के कर रहे हैं, and that started our industrial revolution. And slowly and gradually, everything started getting electrified. तब बिजली आ गई जगह जगह पे और बिजली से रन होने वाली machines आ गई. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? And it was a beginning.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and it was a beginning of computerization where seeds of digitalization, electronics started. Electronic components, electronic TV, visual display unit, electronic machines started coming up, and these resources were with powerful military organizations, and those who had power, those who had military power, they were spreading. For example, Russia, America, they were military power. The Cold War started, and slowly and gradually in the world, the capitalism started spreading. With this, the new types of jobs began. With this, as digitalization started, the new concept of white collar jobs started, where people did not had to get into lot of physical labor. They did not had to involve themselves into doing hard labor, and now they are sitting like me and you in their home and doing their work and doing some kind of productive work which makes them money, isn't it? It involved lot of mental abilities. It involved lot of emotions. It involved lot of intelligence, not just hard work. And we are right now in an era of lot of mental abilities. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
In this school, in this engineering school, you are not required to have lot of muscle power. You don't require lot of physical power. What do you require? Lot of
Intelligence.
mental power and creativity, and that makes the world. And if you don't have good mental power, if you don't have abilities, you don't have creativity, you will actually feel that you are lagging behind. And now with the help of computer, you are now biohackable. What do you mean by biohackable? Bio means life. We are life as a biology, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And hackable
Yes, sir.
means that with the help of technology, we can persuade people to do what we want to do. For example, by flashing lot of advertisement, giving lot of advertisement, some kind of impact happens on the minds of the people, and slowly and gradually the person starts planning to buy the product for which he has been advertised or persuaded. Are you getting what I'm trying to?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we are on the verge of entering into a new era, which was expedited by COVID pandemic. That is an era where everything will be run with the help of computer algorithms, and our life will become robotic in nature. There will be lot of things that does not require your attention. They will be done and run by automatic machines. But at the same time, this means loss of lot of jobs, but new types of opportunities with new types of skills and new ways of making money and corporate life. That is the making career, isn't it? So now going further, let us understand one more thing. The latest trend shows that a lot of people are switching their career. And if you look at this slide, are you all able to look at this slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you look at this
Yes,
slide,
sir.
Yes, sir.
slide is basically showing you how it is based on a data set, which is showing you how people are changing their or switching their careers. I have given the source. You can go to this website and use this tool to understand how people are changing. For example, if person is basically a first line supervisor or manager of a company, he might in one life become a financial manager. At the same time, he may become a metal worker or a plastic worker, or he may go and start learning about lathe machines and start working on nano machines or big machines or capital good machines to make goods. So there is no fixed way by which people are now having clear cut careers. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? If you look at this diagram, there is no clear cut career these days. People are now switching careers in between many times in their life. By the time you will finish your engineering, 100 thoughts might have gone through your mind. Probably right now you might want to become an engineer. After some time you would like to become a creative person, a YouTuber, or maybe after a year or so you want to become a fashion designer, or you want to become a person who is doing something else. So with the passage of time, your interest will change, your skills will change, and it will most likely try to align with the market forces. It will try to align with what is happening, what is relevant in the market. And there are no permanent careers now. There are no permanent paths now. The only thing which you need to find out is how do you align yourself creatively with the market forces. And for this, you need to basically have a very deep analytical skills and be very aware of, hyper aware, in fact, about what is happening around the world, and find out and have good level of agility to move out of this situation and to get into a career where it starts giving you some kind of sustainable income. I am again saying sustainable income. I am not saying sustainable job. I am not saying sustainable career. What I'm trying to tell you is job. Why I'm saying job is because these days the world has now shrinked, and it has shrunk to task level, to a gig level. We have a very large gig economy. What do you mean by gig economy? Gig economy means a small task based economy. That is, you never ever permanently hire somebody. You never ever fix up a person for lifelong career, lifelong job. You give small assignments to a person, and that is how that person makes a career. So you never hire permanently a plumber, you never hire a electrician permanently. And now there is currently time the companies are permanently hiring engineers, but it is not in coming days. Or it is in the current scenario itself, you can see that the engineers, the doctors, even doctors are not permanently working in one place. In the morning they are having their OPD in one place, in the evening they will have OPD in some other hospital, and at Saturdays and Sunday they will go and work in some other places. So similarly, these days engineers are also working on multiple projects. They are working with multiple companies, they are working with multiple countries and in multiple zones. So now everything is fragmented. It is not clear cut that there is a 9 to 5 job. What you need to have is a clear vision that how are you going to have a stable career and a stable job. Even companies like Google, Microsoft, they are planning to change the way the world is being run by engineers, especially engineers. They have launched some mobile applications which will make each person, a layman, an engineer, and they will give them task to them, and whosoever has the ability to do that is kind of an engineer and is kind of a person who can earn money. There is a app called Google Mate. Everyone can note it, and it has just been launched just a month ago, And if you are, and it is an invite only, if you become part of this Google Meet app, what you can do is the Google will assign you some work and they will pay you money also. So this is an again example where they are trying to get the work done from large number of people across 200 countries of the world, and without paying much, without having much infrastructure, and without having permanent 9-to-5 job. And it is a beginning of a trend, and it will impact everyone. And it has beauty. The beauty of it is that you can do the work anytime. There are no timelines, and so on and so forth. This is what is going to happen in coming years. The only thing is that you can take my example. I am not a permanent faculty at your college, but I can, at the same time, I have been hired for 2 hours, 3 hours, and after 2-3 hours, I will be hired by another company, or at weekend, I can go and give a session at some other place. I can then do a Java training or Python training or machine learning training at some other places. So that is how I am doing small gigs. So this is how this is kind of a career which will happen. Now you might also think that I can have a permanent job, I can have a full-time job, and I will have a salary after a month or so. Yes, you will have such kind of jobs and they will be there for next 50 years as well. But the point is, even if you sit in a company, you will not get one single kind of a monotonal task. You will not get one project. You have to handle multiple projects. That means you are again given small tasks, multiple tasks, and those projects will again be basically for multiple clients.